Once a year at the annual Readable Feast Culinary Book Festival, Oldways is pleased to sponsor the K. Dunn Gifford Award. This award, named for Oldways founder K. Dunn Gifford, is given to a New Englander who, through some medium of food, has positively affected our local foodways. Dunn Gifford, like our award winner, was a New Englander, and more than 30 years ago, after a career in politics and business, he started the nonprofit Oldways to preserve and promote culinary traditions. He founded Oldways with a vision for the future, that people, societies, and the planet will be healthier, happier, and more sustainable by embracing the old ways of food, cultural food traditions, the idea that a sensible update of the literal old ways will lead to better health for people and for the planet. The work that he started continues today. Our website is oldwayspt.org.
Hello, my name is Porter Gifford. I want to congratulate Massachusetts Congressman Jim McGovern, this year's winner of the K. Dunn Gifford Local Hero Award. This award is given each year in honor of my late father, Dunn Gifford, and it's given to an individual who has made a positive effect on local foodways. You will hear more about the Congressman's efforts in a minute, but I just wanted to say that if my father were here with us today to celebrate and acknowledge Jim's considerable efforts on behalf of his constituents, that my father would be very proud. And perhaps wistfully, I think he might see a younger version of himself in the congressman. My father began his working life in politics and public service. He was a special assistant in the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and he also worked as an aide for both Robert and Ted Kennedy in Washington. And while my father's life went in many different and colorful ways after he left Washington, he always firmly believed in trying to make a difference. And I don't think you need to take my word for it. We can hear it from the man himself. This is a fine book called The Oldways Table that my father wrote before he passed away, and he wrote it with Sarah Bear Sinnott. And it truly is a font of wisdom, as well as some very nice recipes. But he writes in the preface about his Washington experiences that they, quote, absolutely persuaded me that an individual can make a big difference if he or she chooses to do so. But not very many people decide they want to make changes on a large scale, such as by running for president or governor, or for Congress or state legislature. Sounds familiar? The lesson I took away from my time in Washington was well said by Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. I would like to thank Oldways, and particularly Sarah Bear Sinnott, for keeping the spirit of my father alive with the giving of this award each year. And I would like to congratulate again the Congressman Jim McGovern, for winning this award this year. And more importantly, I think I would like to thank him for truly earning it. So thank you for your work, and congratulations.
Hi everyone, I'm Apple Gifford. I'm Dunn Gifford's youngest child, his only daughter, and most likely his favorite child, which my older brother will not be able to dispute because this is recorded. I was really delighted when I learned that Jim McGovern is the recipient of this year's K. Dunn Gifford Award. I've never met the congressman in person, but I know his work because I live in southern Vermont and I work in central Massachusetts. And I listened to a radio show called Monty in the Morning. And Congressman McGovern is a regular guest on that show. The host, Monty Belmonte, has a regular segment called Governing with McGovern. And Jim McGovern comes on the air and they talk about local issues, local politics, and most of all about ending hunger. And it's always a pleasure to hear Congressman McGovern on the air and hear what he's up to and hear his passion for this topic. He and Monty every year take part in something called the March. I know it is Monty's March. I think it has a more official name, but it's a 43-mile walk the weekend before Thanksgiving through Massachusetts, a section of Massachusetts, where they raise awareness about hunger and raise lots and lots and lots of money. So Even though I'm not a voter in this region, I'm a huge fan of yours, Congressman McGovern. And like I said, I feel like I know you. I know my dad would have been a huge fan of yours. I know he would have loved listening to you and Monty on the radio. He used to drive me to school when I was a little girl, and I know that we would have been listening to that show if it had been an option. I reached out to Monty a few days ago and let him know that this was happening. I know him a little bit, and I asked if he had any words to share. So he sent me a quote, so I'm going to read that. Congressman McGovern, congratulations on this honor. You are a food justice advocate who not only talks the talk, but who walks the walk. And for the walking part, I apologize. I never meant for the 43-mile ridiculous publicity stunt, March for the Food Bank, to be a cause for the people of your district to fear for the health and well-being of their representative. But given that neither of us is getting any younger, it is truly inspirational to continue to walk that arduous journey beside you. If you could do us all a favor and better watch where you are going so as not to fall into any more gullies, we would all appreciate that. You may be one broken hip away from us having to send you off to the farm. Congratulations again. Looking forward to more McGoverning with you in the coming year. So thank you so much for all the work that you do, and congratulations.
While Congressman Jim McGovern represents the 2nd District of Massachusetts, central Massachusetts, including his home city of Worcester, he truly represents people all around New England, U.S., and the world. As the Boston Globe wrote about him in a recent profile, McGovern is deeply and visibly passionate about ending hunger in America. He relentlessly presses people of import in nearly every conversation, whether with the president, cabinet secretaries, colleagues in Congress, or advocates. It's his obsession. Jim McGovern began his political career as a middle schooler, campaigning for George McGovern in the 1972 presidential election, and then interning in Senator McGovern's office while in college at American University, graduating in 1981 and then going to work in the office of Congressman Joe Moakley, a Democrat from South Boston. Too late to cross paths with Dun Gifford when he worked in the Senate as Ted Kennedy's legislative assistant in the late 60s. Congressman McGovern has had many accomplishments of note since he was elected to the House in 1996, but we're here today to honor him for his critical work in the food arena, efforts that have helped residents of his district, the Commonwealth, New England, and the U.S. Too many to list today among the initiatives, legislation, and efforts led by Congressman McGovern. 2 food-related programs stand out. First, creating the McGovern-Dole Food Program, which provides nutritious meals in a school setting to nearly 9 million of the world's poorest children. Over 20 years ago, he led a bipartisan coalition to establish the George McGovern Robert Dole International Food for Education Program, first as a pilot project in 2000 and then as a permanent program in the 2002 Farm Bill. In June of 2022, Jim McGovern said of the program, "This program has always enjoyed strong bipartisan support and is a proven success. By providing at least one nutritious meal to some of the world's most vulnerable children in a school setting, McGovern-Dole has reduced the incidence of hunger among school-aged children, increased school enrollments and attendance, expanded the support of families and communities for education, especially for girls, and built goodwill towards the people of the United States in countries around the world." And second, the convening of a historic second White House Conference on Food, Nutrition, and Health. In 2021 and 22, Congressman McGovern worked with the White House to secure support for a conference on food, nutrition, and health, only the second in history. In announcing the conference in May of 2022, Congressman McGovern said, "This is a historic moment in the fight against hunger. I'm proud of the nationwide grassroots organization we built to secure this conference." Jim McGovern's role was not just to appear at the conference, but also he secured $2.5 million in funding for the conference, conducted nationwide meetings to amplify local solutions to the national hunger crisis, collaborated with opinion leaders to expand support for the conference, garnered nationwide media, held over a dozen hearings and roundtables on topics such as hunger among veterans, seniors, students, rural communities, and indigenous communities, and galvanized thousands of leading nationwide anti-hunger organizations and advocates. There's so much distance to travel, and certainly Congressman McGovern will continue leading the way to fight against hunger, help farmers, and improve life for his constituents, whether they be in the 2nd District, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the New England region, or the country. As Porter noted, Dunn believed that each of us can make a difference. Congressman McGovern, we know you believe that as well, and you certainly have made a huge difference for many. If Dunn were here, he'd be applauding you the loudest. We all join him and say thank you and bravo.
Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry I can't be with you all in person tonight for this year's Readable Feast Awards. But as you may have guessed, things are a little busy in Congress right now, and busy is a nice way to put it. But I want to say how grateful I am to be this year's recipient of the K. Dunn Gifford Local Hero Award. It is a great honor and a privilege to accept this award in the company of so many talented food writers, food activists, and food lovers. And I want to thank you all for inviting me to be part of this great day. I did not know Dunn Gifford, but I wish I did. We had so many of the same interests. Food and public service topped the list. And it's obvious to me that he cared so deeply about these issues and would have been an incredible ally in the progress we are making right now. People always ask me, why I am so committed to the issues of hunger and nutrition and ensuring that everyone has access to healthy food. This kind of mystifies me, because what could draw all of us together and be more important to our country than healthy, well-nourished communities? When I think of the children who come to school or go to bed hungry, or the elders who often make desperate choices between buying food and paying for rent or prescriptions, it bothers me. It keeps me up at night. It should keep all of us up at night. And here's the thing, hunger is a solvable problem. We have the food, we have the programs, and we have the expertise. We have everything we need to end hunger except the political will. And I'm pleased that I've been able to do my share in Congress to build that will. And last fall's White House conference was an example of what we can do when like-minded people start working together for real change. And now our job is to take the momentum from that conference and turn it into action. I want to say again how proud I am to be considered a local hero. As a public servant, as a dad and a husband, as a part of this community, my goal is to leave this world a better place. And I know deep down in my bones that we can and we will end hunger if we keep working and fighting for it. Your acknowledgement of my work makes me feel that we are making progress, and I can't thank you enough. It means so much to me. Together, let us continue fighting to make food a fundamental human right for all. So thank you again for this amazing honor. I look forward to working with you in the days and months ahead to end hunger once and for all. All the best.